Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. Well, we all know that Celestine celebrated its 175th this past summer, but did you know that there is a history book and a recipe book that is now available? We have the authors in our studio today on 18 WJTS. Yeah, you're the author. Kathy Bachman, and also joining us is Clara Fromme. Now, ladies, we have two books that are available for folks if they would like to purchase these books, and we're going to say that you purchase these the good old-fashioned way. You show up at a location with your money, you pay, you take the book, you go home. Okay.
That's right.
And we do want to point out, though, that you may want to call the parish if you're out of the area and need it mailed to you, because there might be a shipping charge. You could purchase a book that way, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the two books. Now, let's talk about the history book first, which is simply Celestine, Indiana, a history, 1993 to 2018. Why is it 1993 to 2018?
Because we have Father John Beglin's book. He wrote this in 1993, and it's Celestine History from the beginning. Kathy's is very well used.
Excellent.
Quite time-worn. We call it the Bible.
Right.
And so what we've done with this one is we've picked up where Father Beglin left off, and we've done the last 25 years.
I didn't know that much happened in Celestine in 25 years.
You'd be surprised.
He says there's a lot that goes on in Celestine.
We say either you know somebody from Celestine or your roots were in Celestine, because really, you know, a lot of our people in the county have roots in Ferdinand, Jasper, or Celestine. Those were the first three places where at least the Catholics started. So, you know.
So what sort of history is in the book? What are we gonna read?
I have 10, my top 10.
Okay,
if I may.
Excellent.
Yes,
you may. Please.
All right. So the book has 17 sections altogether. Now we're talking about this one.
Yeah, let me get that one out.
Okay, 17 sections altogether, and we start with the community and surrounding area. We talk about, well, we just list owners of all the original lots in Celestine, current owners now. We talk about the three subdivisions, Highland Estates, Woodland Hills, and Valley View Estates. And you'd be surprised how many people actually live in Celestine. We talk about the community club, the park, Patoka Lake, Beaver Lake with the spillway project that was quite controversial at the time. We have the firemen, the post office. We have significant events like the Dennis Hakey Highway, which comes, 10 miles right through our area. The sewer projects were during this time frame. We have the mural that was painted at the museum during this time. And of course, February 27th, 2011, many people know that date as the date of the Celestine tornado. And we've interviewed all four of those families who lost their homes, and so we have firsthand reports from them. So that really adds a lot of human interest to the history. Then, of course, the avian flu, that hit 10 family farms, so we talk about that. Businesses is the next section, 65 businesses. Now everybody knows Kelly's and Happy Hour and Sander Catering and Sander Processing, but who knew there were 60 more?
60,
right.
Yeah.
So we're pretty impressed by that. And who knew that Dave Letterman was a guest at Kelly's?
Kelly's.
Left a $100 tip, and so they reviewed their security camera and said, yeah, that was him.
I think he must have had a bushy beard then or something.
Yeah, incognito. But anyway, that's in there. They wanted to add that to their story. We do farms 100 years and older, and we have over 30 of those. And two just recently received Hoosier Homestead Awards. The Beckman Farm and the Vonderheid Farm were honored with that lately. Stein Valley Farm, that's where Stein Bottom Road gets its name. So we talk about the Stein Valley Farm. Thanks to the Humperts for submitting that. Academic focus is next, and we talk about Save the Jeeps, the referendum, and thanks to Bill Hoaksong, the superintendent, for his help with getting input for that to make sure everything is clear and correct. All the teachers, support staff from the last 25 years, we have it all in there. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, 4-H, the military. To me, the military is so important, and we thank all of our people who are currently serving and those who served in the past. And what was especially hard to write were the stories of the two families who lost their sons. We had Corporal Eric Leakin and Lance Corporal Alec Terwisky. And thanks to their families for submitting information and allowing us to include that, because we have very detailed reports that were quite, you know, anytime you talk about it, you relive it. And so, you know, quite hard for the families to do. And while we're on military, let me just thank my son Matt. We name him in the book for serving in the Army, and my nephew Cole Cannon is now in the Army. So I wanted to give a special thanks to them for serving. Then we go to the church, and we do the cemetery, the diocese, the merger with St. Raphael to Farm St. Isidore in 2016, the new parish center, our 11 priests over the 25 years, 2 native sons, Kathy's brother, Father John Brosmer, and we have Father Tony Ernst, and 7 nuns who are still living, who are currently serving in various ministries. So then we're to the youth group, the catechists, our outreach with the bus trip. We have organizations that we talk about, and then intercultural outreach. We have sent people to Dupity and Jeremy, Haiti, and to Vogshurst, Germany. We have a sister partnership with them. In fact, 20 of them just came for this 175th. And best of all, our elders, ages 80 and above. We've interviewed 36. Kathy did a lot of these.
That was the best.
That was just wonderful.
Yeah.
36
Enjoyed it.
couples or individuals that we talked to personally and got stories about their lives and what it meant over their 80 years, 90 years. My mother will be 92 next month. You know, we have their stories of growing up. And then, so, you know, in the end, it's not just history, it's human interest. It's just a legacy. After all the food is gone, you know, the celebration was wonderful. The entertainment is a memory, but this book will last forever. So we thank our sponsors for that, and we thank all the committee. I must mention 14 committee members who helped with doing the book.
How long did it take to put the book together?
We worked on it 2 years.
So you planned ahead. You thought we're gonna.
We knew we had to get busy. I went to church. And they actually gave me a mailbox at church because I was there so often. Read through all the bulletins from the last 25 years, all the newsletters, looked at Kathy's Celestine News. We tried to be very comprehensive, and I think we were.
And this book is available. Let's talk about how to get the book in a moment.
Okay.
The old book that takes us up to 93. Is that still available?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so somebody could get. This is the sequel.
Yes,
This is the sequel.
Does it say that on the
Put my
front too?
name
It does
tag
say
on
that.
it. Sorry.
A sequel.
Yes,
yeah.
I called it a sequel too. I didn't like follow up. I thought, what word can I use? So sequel sounded good to me.
And will you do autographed copies?
I could do an autograph copy.
A signing.
We could both. We haven't had a book signing, but we could.
What excites you the most about the history book?
You know, I feel like it's my life's work. I feel like, you know, I taught for very many years, and I guess it was a dream perhaps that I would someday write a book. I didn't know it would be this one. I thought it would be a grammar book, but this was much more interesting.
I think I could use the grammar book though sometimes.
No, it was just a joyful journey. That's in my mind. That's what I think when I do it, because I talked to so many people and they were all so cooperative. And the praise has been delightful. You know, they'll say, oh, it's such eloquent writing. Oh, I almost got late to Mass because I was reading your book. Oh, this was just so good I couldn't put it down. Things like that, you know, let us know that what we did is a service.
Excellent. Now, we also have a recipe book.
Right.
Right now, let's talk about
Kathy's domain.
Let me talk about that one.
What did Kathy do?
Well, I didn't actually work on this recipe book. It was a committee that was formed. We started out by saying it would be really nice to have a recipe book. But then in '93, we had a great recipe book that was produced. And we thought, well, that was a lot of work, and they did such a good job with that. So do we want just a recipe book? So we came up with an idea. Well, how about photos of the area and document what happens in the area with the pictures? And then the Girl Scout troop, the Teen Troop 60, decided that they would take on this project. And so inside the book here, I'm going to read their names. It was Elena Apple, who was grade 10, Courtney Vidito, grade 9, and Emily Clark, grade 9. And with the help of Kathy Messmer, their leader, and Clara here, and Channing Ziegler, they were able to come up with this book. It features over 330 pictures of the area of Celestine. I have to wipe my nose a little bit here. And then we decided, wow, we need a calendar in there, like maybe a book you can open up and
Leave on the coffee table.
leave on a coffee
your
table.
calendar at the
And
kitchen.
so I've been writing in mine. It's a perpetual calendar,
Okay.
which means that on tomorrow is my sister's anniversary. Happy anniversary, Chris. And so, oops.
Right there.
So it's right there in the book, and it's going to stay perpetual. That means it's not going to be Wednesday. It's going to be
Year
Whatever
after
day.
year. Useful year
Right.
after
Okay, now
year.
wait a minute. I'm going to stop. I called it a recipe book.
It
Is
does
it-
have
That's coming
recipes.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
thought maybe
and
I was
you know-
remiss there.
You know, we were having a hard time with what do we call this then, because we knew it was photos, we knew it was calendar, and we wanted to have recipes, so we did gather over 30 recipes, and there were some really nice recipes that were handed down from family members. So we brainstormed with the Girl Scout troop, and we said, let's call it Beyond the Calendar. So it's recipes, it's photos, and it's perpetual calendar.
So I'm going to call it a multi-purpose book. Okay, because recipes are just part of it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And they are wonderful recipes, like Kathy said, that have been handed down through families. And several were submitted in memory of someone who's passed away.
Right.
A favorite family
Right.
recipe.
And so there are pictures of not the Celestine 175th celebration, but pictures that relate to Celestine
So-
and its 175 years.
So these are pictures that were gathered maybe a year and a half before and up to the celebration. So we went to print with this book, wow, way back in June maybe. We went almost to the centennial with our books. And so there are some pictures that are up to date, maybe some of the past Street Fest pictures.
The
And
firemen's.
the firemen's celebrations. And then
School pictures, the Jeeps.
they try to incorporate a lot of the area, and it's just a nice beyond the calendar memory.
What's your favorite part about that book?
You know,
What
I
does
really
it mean
like
to you?
I really like the recipes because I remember my mother making a mashed potato donut, and here someone submitted that recipe, and I was like, wow, great, I have that recipe now. And I do use a perpetual calendar a lot. I have it open so that I do have my birthday here, in case,
your
in case my
birthday.
husband
Okay, I see
doesn't
that. Yeah. In case he
remember.
forgets.
Keep it open.
That's right.
So
She always leaves it on the coffee table, open to that date.
and it's always by the phone. So yeah.
Now, and so let's talk now about the price of these books and how
Okay.
do we get a book?
Okay, this one is $25.
Okay, so the Celestine, Indiana, a history,
The sequel.
1993, the
Yes.
sequel,
The
2018.
new book is $25.
Okay.
If you purchase it along with Father Bagelin's book, it's a bundle. We call that a bundle,
Okay.
and that's $35. So you would pay $10 for this. But if you buy this by itself, you pay $15.
15.
Okay.
So you're better off, if you don't have this one yet, do the bundle.
And you should have, yeah, that'd be the way
Many
to go.
people
Sure,
already have
sure.
that one, but some don't.
Okay.
And then this one is $15. This is standalone. This is $15.
The Beyond the Calendar is 15.
Yes.
And it's really nice because you can open up spiral. I guess that's called spiral.
Spiral
bound.
bound, uh-huh.
And it was printed by Cecil Printing in Huntingburg, and Woods Printing. They're from my
This
book.
was Woods.
Okay,
Woods
Woods
did that
Printing
one.
did
Was
that.
Woods. Uh-huh.
And so now, where can you get the book?
All
Books.
right. Okay, the books will be able to be bought at, of course, the parish office at St. Isidore Celestine, and that number is 634-1875, which we said, I think we said it a while ago.
Yes.
Okay.
It actually sounds like
All right. Ann
date.
Knies at Chocolate Bliss has agreed to have some. Ann is from Celestine. She grew up there. Jan Blackgrave at Illusions Day Spa. She was also from Celestine, and actually her husband's business is featured in our book, and a little note that she also has a business in Jasper. Then Julia Hurst, who helped write the book, is at Hoosier Business Machines, so she's agreed that they can have some there. And then we'll have some at the Du Bois County Museum.
Okay. Which seems to be probably one of the most appropriate places, that in the parish.
Well, but the hours are limited at the museum. We've got longer hours at the stores in town, so we wanted to have that availability.
And you're going to be shopping there anyway, you might as well just pick up a book.
Go. You can go to Chocolate Blish, the Day Spa, and the Who's Your Business all in one trip and get your book anywhere.
Will they need to pay for that separate, or
Oh, they can write a check for both together. Is that what you're asking?
no, I mean, if does the check need to be written out to like the parish?
Yes,
or
it should be written to the either Community of Celestine or St. Isidore Parish, either one.
And for people who may be out of town watching this on the internet, they can order a book, I'm sure, but be expecting to pay some sort of shipping fee because there's going to be a little bit of charge on that.
I would say $3 to $4 for a shipping fee because it can be mailed. I mailed one to my daughter in Pasco, Washington, and I think the media rate is something like $3.40 or something like that. So if they're not concerned about when they get it, you know, they don't need it in 2 days, you know, then they can. It's a bargain.
And the books will be on sale till they run out. Are you expecting a reprint?
I don't think we'll need to do a
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be something?
We could love it.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add about the Celestine History book sequel and the not recipe book,
Beyond the
partial
Calendar.
recipe book, Beyond the Calendar, Celestine 175?
Just that, I think this was a lot of fun for all of us who did it. It never seemed like a challenge or a chore. It was always, I was very excited about doing it. I often found a place of seclusion to work on it. I spent many hours, like I said, at Celestine, but also the Dome at French Lick has a very quiet library, and I've spent hours there, and also French Lick, the mezzanine at the resort. They were going to start charging me for a night's stay, I think.
That's your inspirational points. Okay.
Those were my inspirational points. Yeah. They were. I just found solitude there, and I could make my phone calls I needed to make, and it was just delightful. It was a journey of joy.
And Clara did so much for this book, and more of
too.
In memory of Mary Lou too.
Mary Lou Treader
had
done a lot of work on this book, and actually she passed away in January of 2017, so that left me to kind of carry on.
Right.
So we did. We managed.
Well, the book is available now. So pick up your book, $25 for Celestine, Indiana, A History 1993 to 2018, and Beyond the Calendar, Celestine 175. Those books are now available. Pick one up today. We'd like to thank Clara Fromme and Kathy Bachman, authors, local authors, who have put these books together.
And
Thank you,
thank
ladies.
you.
Well,
Thank you, Bill.
Glad to do it.
Your studio.
Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We're local people watching local people.